This week on the Half Hour, we wrap up our conversation with Ms. Nelsiwe Mabuza, the CEO of African Alliance. If you have enjoyed this series as much as we have, then subscribe to our channel and click on the bell for notifications.
The Half Hour, on the record, for the record.
Wow, so this has been a very interesting conversation. And as I said when we started, I'm pretty sure I can meet 10, maybe even more people who would really love to be in my position right now. And I consider myself very, lucky and privileged. And thank you so much for opening up because, especially about your background. There's young people right now that come from exactly where you come from. And I know this personally.
Yes, thank you.
Who don't think they can possibly, reach where you reached up to now. Even a simple degree at university, because of their background. Because like I said, Mascala, some people consider that as poor or as struggle, and yet to you, as we have seen now, those are some of the lessons, some of the things that have actually made you the person that you are.
Yes.
So now I'm very interested, though, to learn more about you getting the job after sitting there for 2 weeks and then meeting with the top guys at African Alliance and the journey to where you are today.
Yeah. Thank you, Pila, and thank you for those humbling words. Now I'm at African Alliance, and obviously you come in, you're starting at the beginning.
Yeah.
What is always important, I think, when you come into any environment, is to learn as much as you can. Get to understand, first, the culture. I think we take that for granted. There are a lot of smart young people that come into offices and want to deliver. And all you're interested in is just to apply what you've learned. But you then become a misfit because you haven't taken the time to understand the environment where you are going to be applying yourself. Yeah. One of the things that I paid attention to was to just learn, what is this business about? How does it move? If I come here and I'm the smartest and I apply what I've applied at school, by just delivering, will I become... Remember at that point in time also, you are now not competing with others. You are now supposed to be complementing others.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be learning from everyone around you. So it's no longer you trying to excel by beating everyone else.
Yep.
You actually need to now bring everyone else close so you can understand, what are you doing? What are you doing? How do you feed into this whole vision of the business? What helped me is I came in, the business had just started. It had only been a few years in the country. And a lot of the things that were happening were new. So everyone was learning, and we were learning quick. I made sure that I do everything, go into all the departments, and I wanted to understand. I'm a very curious person by nature. So I ask. Actually, even now, I think one of the things they always complain about is I ask a lot of questions because I want to understand.
Yeah.
And I believe before you come up with solutions, you have to know the question that you're answering.
Yeah.
So I was learning the different departments, getting close to everyone. I started in a department called Advisory Services, which also on its own is just giving advice to businesses.
Okay.
And we did a couple of transactions there. Then I was shifted into another and shifted into another.
So you're learning.
So I'm learning. Now, here is the greatest challenge that I faced coming into business. I had always been someone that reads, which means I am not engaging with people.
Okay.
Now, that's my safest space because every time I struggle with something, I'm going to go and hide in a book.
Yeah.
But now, I can't do that. I'm dealing with customers.
Yeah. This is the arena now.
This is the arena, and we are offering a service where you need to be talking to people, explaining to them how investments work, giving advice to people. I struggled. I was technically very smart. I learned. I was quick.
Yeah.
My greatest struggle was transitioning from that to become a people person.
Soft skills, eh?
Those
Yeah.
are always the hardest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that do accounts also struggle. A lot of people that, there's certain disciplines that
The
don't teach you.
mathematicians don't talk.
Thank you.
They just count.
All you're doing is
Yeah.
sitting and just putting things into a model, and you come up
Yes.
with a solution. I was very fortunate, though, to find people that genuinely took their time to also assist me become, because they saw something.
Okay.
And when they saw something, they then said, okay, you need mentorship. So the owner of the business decided he's going to mentor me.
Okay.
And all that mentorship was we're going to teach you how to talk to people. You're smart, we can see. You can speak. I mean, you were head prefect somewhere. You were talking to students, but you don't like it. You actually, for you, it's not that you can't do it. You just seem to have a natural, to go and hide. So he would give me exercises to do. Just go to a random group of people. Go and talk to someone there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, go talk to someone there, and then come back and we discuss the experiences. And I then had to go and start talking to strangers, because remember, everyone that's walking into the office is a stranger at that point in time until you build a relationship. That for me was not easy at all. It took a lot of commitment, a lot of trial and error, because I'd go and feel. Go back, and then until I then learned. Yeah. So as I'm doing that, I start realizing human beings by nature are interesting beings. Mm-hmm. There is so much more that I'm going to learn from the experiences of people than anything else, because you are getting live feedback. You see, I love reading. And I believe all answers are in books everywhere. Yeah. The difference is with the person, I will ask a question and get an answer right now. Yeah. A book, I'll read something and I have to interpret it myself. Mm-hmm. But if I have access to people, then I can ask, which is where the idea of mentorship becomes quite important. And unfortunately, we don't have mentors like it's not available at the degrees at which it should be. It's a combination. Some don't feel they need it, some need it, and the people they want are too busy to be able to give them the time, because it's a relationship that needs to work both ways, and you need to give it time. So through that mentorship, then I learned to deal with people, and I'm engaging and I'm finding interesting, discussions. I meet interesting people. And then I realized, okay, so success is not so much, it is what you know, but it's also how you apply what you know. And to test that, you have to go to people. Yeah. The reason I'm even stating that pillar is, even now you'll get a lot of smart students that are coming into your office, they're looking for employment. And you want to give this person the opportunity. You have a frank discussion. What do you want to do? They tell you, okay, you're qualified, you've got a very excellent technical skill. What do you believe we are selling here? Okay, you're selling a solution. We sell the solution by engaging with people. So you can be the most brilliant, but if you don't learn how to talk to people, it doesn't help.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
Certainly not in my industry.
Definitely.
Because what you know, if you can't articulate it in the way that you will understand it, it just remains what you know. Yeah. So yes, you're smart. Tick. I agree to that. Yeah. But you have to balance that with connecting with people.
Wow.
And that works in every business, by the way. Most of the people that make it in business, the people that we call rainmakers, are the people that have learned how to take their solutions to others.
And to a layman.
To a layman.
Yeah, who doesn't understand your business, but you simplify it to a level that they get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our weakness is we always want to look smart, right? We always want to be seen like we know. So the way we express things, we use all this terminology that
political
that
English
no one understands. And then you leave that environment, you've left the people very much confused instead of just simplifying. But anyway, so now I've dealt with that section of people. I now know how to talk to people. It's a process. It doesn't come easy. I still struggle even now. My natural person hides. Yeah. But I then have to consciously force myself out and say, go out and engage
with people,
and it's something that I need to every day be teaching myself. The second challenge that I then had to deal with was, you're a woman. You're coming into a male-dominated environment. Worse, not just internally. Internally, it was better. It was okay. Externally. So the client that you're going to give a solution to is a man. He's made his first million or his first 500,000, and you have to come and tell him how to invest it.
Especially in this tradition.
And that took a lot of, I don't want to even say patience, but yes, it took a lot of patience and a lot of pain, because you know you have the solution and you want to give this person the solution and you're doing what's in their best interest. But because you are a female, you are young, they don't care to listen to you, you know. That has been something that you carry for a long time. It takes a very long time for people to trust you. Our business is about trust on the investment side. You sell yourself first before you sell the solution. I must look at you and be comfortable. You know that what you will tell me is truth. And because, remember, I've worked so hard on the other side for my money. So I won't just write a check and give it to you. So you know, so that is what I think I then had to struggle with for the longest time. Internally, I'm growing, I'm learning a lot, getting opportunities because I'm hungry, I'm open to anything. I think I move quite quickly. I started in 2001, I think within 4 years, I was deputy CEO, and then within another couple of years, I was CEO. Now, if ungena into that position, oh gosh, it's interesting. It's even, you know, you'll have clients that will walk in and because I'm a simple person. I'm not one of those ladies that will have their hair and with my short hair and very basic, you know. Bayagwenga, Stella CEO wala office. But then we are like,
sometimes.
Noma bamcele PA. Uphume, but you know it can't be this one. Then you stand there and you're like, okay.
How's the CEO?
Now what am I supposed to say? Do I, you know? And there's many instances where I'd literally just go back to my office and work and ask whoever is then coming to request the client to please come back when they are ready. It's okay. Unfortunately, vele utobonwa ngimi, utobonwa mine if afuna mine, but it's you know, let's just cut it because you also work with men.
Yes.
Lomunye ugcine vele ucele the male person to assist them because they genuinely don't want you to assist.
That is so sad for us as like a people.
Yes. Yeah. It took a while. It really took a while. But the positive is when it works, it works. You know, it gets to the point where you earn your stride, I call it. And at that point, then at least people become comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate to have, I think, been very committed to proving it to myself. It wasn't about anyone else. I always wanted to just do things for me.
To be a better person than you were yesterday.
Yes.
As you were saying, in high school, that was the
Absolutely.
same thing. University, competing with yourself, certainly.
Yes. I was jogging this morning, Pilar, and one of the things I was trying to think about is, one of the questions you get asked is, how do you become successful as a person? And I was thinking about it and trying to determine one of the limitations, rather, I think, is that when we do something, we're always waiting for accolades. You wait for someone to clap their hands and say,
tap your shoulder,
well
tap your
done,
back,
And if that person you get disappointed. And then you apply yourself less and less, because I am measuring my excellence by what my boss says is excellent, by what my mother or whoever it is that you value. That is a challenge. And that is a recipe for disaster. Yes, you want umsebenzi wakho to impress bantu losebenza nabo, because ultimately they pay your check. But remember, umuntu naye unema expectations akhe. So I always say to my people, the people I work with, first impress yourself. It's much more important than trying to impress me. Because if you've given it your all and applied yourself excellently, and you know what you've given up your all, it should be enough. It's different something technical that you don't understand. That's a different thing, because there you go to someone else, you ask for help, and then you apply it. But if you're preparing a document, for example, if you give it your all and it's in order, I'm pandetic. I think I'm terrible to work for. I want things justified. I want I's must be dotted. I want a document proper. But that's saying to you, take time, look at it, make sure that you are satisfied.
I mean, you were a teacher for 2 months. So when you receive work, you look at it.
So if you get to the point where you can work at getting better at yourself, say, okay, I'm reading more, I'm learning more, I want to be better, then it's almost automatic that you're going to be successful. Because success is measured by... Let's not go there.
There's something that you said, when we started this whole thing about your experience at African Alliance. Your limitation at first was not wanting to speak to people. And that is like a limitation for a lot of business people.
Yes.
You are in business. Kuna statement sebenzisa kakhulu simaswati. Mina ngibathanzi bantu, or bakhoni. And sometimes these things are said in passing and all of that, but they can also influence those things and thereby limit ourselves in business. And I'm happy that you said you had to work on that, because you're in the service industry. And I feel like even if you were in an industry where you're selling products that are tangible, fruits and vegetables or whatever, you need that element of being able to communicate with people, because it's important. And it's important in a lot of things, again, even in life in general. But also speaking about some of the challenges that you had, in a male-dominated industry. We're living in a new era now, women empowerment, and we are, we are supporters of women empowerment.
Yes.
And I think it's very sad to basically not allow a person to shine purely because of something that they never chose.
They can't,
like their gender or their skin color,
yes.
Or whatever, something that is natural. We've lost so much of brilliance purely because we've said to the woman, sit there and let the men take care of business. And the men have done the same job she would have done in an hour, in 100 hours, purely because she's a woman. So I'm very happy that, we're seeing the change.
Yes.
And here I am right now sitting with easily the most brilliant woman I've set with,
I don't know about
what. And how are things now, though? What are you doing now at African Alliance? And what is exciting at this point? You are CEO young, so what is keeping you going?
I'm always excited by not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring.
Okay.
There's people that want certainty. I'm not one of those. I believe sometimes in being uncertain, I'm able to craft my journey in any direction.
Yeah, that you want.
With challenges, but that's also what keeps life exciting. What am I excited about at African Alliance? Is making a difference.
Yeah.
I think as a business, we took, our core business is financial services, which is investments. We offer solutions to people. But over time, we got to the point where we said, if you want to make a difference in this economy, you have to look beyond just that.
Yeah.
The investments that you are making, you have to go into the, and craft from down there. Don't just wait for someone else to do it and then you put money in it. You go down and start working. Yeah. Yes. So the opportunities are vast. Okay. Yes, we are challenged quite, right now we're all dealing with COVID.
Yes.
But we remain positive. It's interesting, we are here in Malkans. We opened this center now in June. One of our motivations, it was very difficult because everything is closed and you can't bring in staff, you can't complete anything. But we made do. We found ways. Because we believe position for the future. Things are going to turn around. And you must always be prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we are continuously looking for opportunities, looking for areas and sectors where we can make a difference. Yeah. Our ethos is wealth creation.
Okay.
It's always been about creating wealth for the people of the country, creating wealth for ourselves, creating wealth everywhere. How do you create wealth? You touch one person at a time. So individually, the investments, if you make an investment, you're growing. What you make will touch someone else. You also go into business. You start making a difference in business.
Definitely.
I'm sure you're aware of some of the businesses that we've been fortunate enough to get a hold of. It's been a process, and I think that's what I enjoy the most, because it always looks impossible until you do it. So we sit in the boardroom, we dream, and we dream big. It never ends. And then we say to ourselves, how are you going to do it? And we're like, we'll find a way. One of our core values is no excuses. Anything and everything is possible.
Wow.
And we've seen things happen. It's not. People ask, how do you guys do it? It's like a few of you as well. It's not a lot of.
It's not a big staff
contingent. Not a big, no. There's 13, 15 people in the office, and it's. Then you grow into other areas.
Yes, other businesses on the side. And
yes. Currently, we now have over 1,000 employees.
Okay.
Between Pick and Pay, KFC, and in here SBC.
Okay.
But the ideas are from a room of very few people.
The core individuals.
Yes, that fight a lot. We disagree a lot, which is healthy because we have to disagree to teach each other something.
Certainly.
If we all agreed, I think it wouldn't work, because then no one is learning.
You wouldn't be here.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about dreaming about the future. Seeing what more we can do for the economy, and making it happen. So the dreams are quite big.
And they're valid.
Proof will be in the pudding.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, no, they are valid. Obviously, we believe they are. We believe we will be able to execute. We just need to make sure that we get the right people. I always say, in any environment, make sure that you're surrounded by people that know more than you. So that you can learn from them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Nelsiwe, I could speak to you for another 5 hours, and tomorrow, and the day after that. But I know you're a busy woman. I wanted to say thank you for the time that you've given me. I would obviously be sharing this with the entire country and the world. I wish you all the best with all the dreams that you have right now. You have inspired me, and I know that you will inspire more as people get to, experience our conversation. Thank you. We totally appreciate you, and all the best.
Thank you, Pila, and thank you to
to the entire team.
To the entire team.
Wow,
Exciting times.
Thank you.